Okay, this video, gonna talk about recovery analysis, kind of for Felix, Yolie. Yeah, so I'm mainly gonna focus on Felix and Yolie in this video here. So Felix, from this particular angle, you can see your top hand drops pretty low here through the recovery. Your paddle goes almost horizontal here. I know we have a bit of variance, like in terms of differences across everyone on the way back, but definitely for the most part, everyone is a little bit closer to 2 o'clock on that exit in this position. So most of the time when you're a little bit more conscious about it, Felix, you're better about it, but I think your natural thing that you revert to is most commonly dropping that arm pretty low there. So the other thing, Felix, okay, so in your 2 position, I think you do have your blade feathered here, which is fine. I think when you go from your 2 position back into your setup here, so if we compare, let's say, to Tipo's blade here, okay, you can see that your paddle is rotated. It's not quite 100% square. So let me draw some lines real quick here. So if this is the side of the boat, right? And then we usually want the paddle to enter nice and perpendicular, right? On the side here. So your blade is turned very slightly like this, right? And we're looking for it to be perpendicular. So again, we don't want this, right? We're looking for something more directly perpendicular. So just make sure your top hand is controlling that angle a little better. Make sure you rotate that thumb or push that wrist out just a little bit. Okay, before I get to Yolie, let me just go back so you can kind of see it from the side view here. The start of this looks okay. So it's not always, but definitely, Felix, I think when we look, if you compare to other paddles in front and behind you, sometimes the angle is just a little bit less square against the side of the boat. Okay, so let's move now to Yolie. So I know I've mentioned this to you before, and I know you're working on this a bit, but you're still tucking in. Let me get to the angle that I want here. Okay. So at the end of your stroke, you're still tucking in that lower arm elbow a little bit too close to your body. So let's focus right here at the end of your stroke. When we go into the follow through, so here we can take a look at some of these paddlers in front here. This is what I'm trying to get you to do a little bit more. So watch carefully each of their elbows here. Okay, as we're going into the follow through of the stroke, see how the elbow opens up. So the elbow starts moving out and we get that lower armpit to open up. Whereas right here at the end of your stroke, okay, your elbow sticks in close to your body, right? So your lower hand wrist is going out, but your elbow stays tucked in, right? So what this is ending up doing is, through this portion here, you're ending up bending your lower arm a lot more. Okay, so see right here, you're bending this elbow a lot more, and because it's tucked back behind, it's going to take longer for you to get that lower arm fully extended and into that setup position. So what that ends up doing is, a lot of times, right, everyone else is already into their toast extension, you're still extending, and everyone else has already started catching in, right? And then you're a little bit late on that entry there. Okay, so I think a lot of that is tied into what you're doing with that elbow. So when you go into the follow through here, you really need to pop that elbow out so it comes forward. So right here, see your elbow still coming back, I want it to pop out and start moving forward. Okay. At some point, let's see, we get into the side view again here. Okay, here's a really good indicator as well. Right, so exit's about the same time as Felix here, right? We're exiting here, but he gets back quicker because he's opened up a little bit earlier. See, his elbow's moving forward because it's not tucked in, right? From the side view, we can't tell as well that your elbow's tucked in, but the effect of what's happening is right here. This is what happens, right? So that differential here, everyone is already into that two position. Your paddle's still back here, right? And then you're playing catch up. You kind of catch up here, but everyone's already starting that catch in front of you. Okay,